Suffering is something that everybody is going to experience at some point in their walks with God. And so today I want to give you guys some right ways and wrong ways to endure suffering. Number one, do not demand answers from God when you're going through something that just doesn't make sense. Do not question what God is doing. If you read the book of Job, Job was questioning God and what he was doing instead of just being content and knowing that God knows what he's doing, even when it doesn't make sense. And so the right way to endure suffering in this sense would be to know who's in charge. Romans 8:28 says all things work together for good for those who love the Lord. And so why stress and question what God is doing when you can just be content and just trust God, even if things don't look right? Number two, do not withdraw from God's presence. Never ever run away from God. If you look at the book of Jonah, Jonah literally ran from God, okay? He tried to escape God, but you cannot escape from God. What you don't want to do is run away from God. What you do want to do is run to God, especially when you're going through suffering, because God can help strengthen you in the middle of that suffering, and God is going to hold your hand and lead you out of that storm. Number three, what you do not want to do is withdraw yourself from others. A lot of us tend to withdraw our presence or isolate ourselves when we're going through things. And I think that that's something that the devil wants us to do, is like create division between us and people. What you should be doing is surrounding yourself with fellowship and getting in other believers' presence so that they can spiritually pour into you. They could pray over you and they can hopefully encourage you as you're going through the suffering. Number four, don't ever word curse your situation and say that you have no strength to keep going or that you want to quit. What you should do is you should speak life over your situation and understand that God is the one who is going to give you the strength to get through that suffering. With God, you can absolutely get through it. Number five, what you should not do is get impatient with God. I know it's hard to be patient, especially when you're undergoing just so much tribulations, but imagine what Job was going through. Job had to literally go through so much. God literally allowed Job to be tested, and God allowed for the devil to really take everything from Job. Imagine how patient Job had to be in the midst of that suffering. So you don't want to get impatient with God. Instead, you should ask God for patience and wait on the Lord's timing. Remember, God's timing is not our timing. His ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. And so we need to just have patience in going through the suffering and trusting that in the right timing, God is going to make it happen. God is going to deliver you from the suffering. Number six, you do not want to seek out your own remedies or take matters into your own hands. I understand it's hard waiting it out, and it's hard waiting for God to give you your next steps and guide you on what to do next. But what you want to do is trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Proverbs 3 verse 5-6, okay? Do not take matters into your own hands, but instead just trust in the Lord. Just trust that everything's going to work out the way it's meant to. Number seven, when you are going through suffering, you do not want to indulge yourself in the fleshly things of this world that are going to satisfy you or give you temporary relief or satisfaction. I promise you, the things of this world will not be able to satisfy you, okay? It might temporarily give you that fix, but do not seek out the things of this world. It's only going to open the door more to the enemy, okay, when you start to give in to your temptations of the flesh. What you do want to do is just stay pure and stay true to your values. Deny your flesh. Submit to God. Resist the devil and he will flee. Number eight, you do not want to get angry with God. Instead, you want to have control over that anger, and you need to rebuke the anger or the wrath that you're feeling. And again, wait on the Lord, okay? I know it's hard. It's natural to feel some sort of anger and just confusion when you're going through suffering. You're like, man, what did I do to deserve this? You did not do anything. This is literally because you are walking in the right direction. I would be surprised if you have no attacks or spiritual warfare or suffering around you, because then I would question, are you even on the right path? Why is the devil not attacking you? Okay, so when you're going through suffering and things are happening and the devil's manifesting in things all around you, that means you're in the right direction. Okay, so yeah, master your anger. Ask God to remove the spirit of anger and bitterness and wrath, and he will. Number nine, what you don't want to do is get depressed. The devil likes to place that spirit of depression in you to just keep you down. What you do want to do is just trust in the Lord and pray for his joy, okay? Rebuke the spirits of depression because these are not from God. Keep your faith in God. Just continue to trust him and pursue him and get in his presence, and he will fill you up with that joy, with that strength, and with that peace to continue to push through. He will give you joy in the chaos.